Alright, we're just getting to the park. There's a bunch of people here on the playground. The parking lot's got several cars in it. He's ready to get out of the truck, but he's going to go out when I tell him to get out. Wait. Wait. Okay, this is his first time at the park. Ooh, hang on, the leash got wrapped. Come here, you're wrapping the leash all around yourself. Come here. Taking off some stress, that's good. Trying to calm down. Pulling me, it's not okay, so I'll pull him back and tell him to stop it. Okay, so we'll get just right from the get-go. Things are going. Alright. And normally I give dogs a second on a long leash to kind of sniff around, but if he's going to drag me like a freight train, I'm not going to let him do it. You earn that long leash by being good. But this is a quiet park. Everything's kind of closer than it really looks like. I put it far back so you can see all of him in the video. Really, he's probably about, he's closer than that, but about that close, but it's hard to get a feel for what he's doing when he's that close up. But of course, he's doing what a lot of dogs when he first gets here. He's a little overwhelmed. It's a new place, lots of new smells. Wants to just immediately start sniffing things to check it out. Checking for threats is the main thing that they're doing usually when they're sniffing. He's not pulling me too bad, but if he starts to, like I said, I'm going to shorten the leash back up. Trying to give him a little opportunity to be a dog and sniff around for a second. Alright. I need to move the collar up on his neck. So he's again, that wet dog shake he's doing right there that's dogs that are trying to calm down. They're either excited or fearful. He's just, look at the people over there at the playground. The whole van full of people are there. Anyway, they're excited or they're nervous, and they're just trying to calm down a little bit because they recognize they're getting a little out of control. So I like it when they shake like that because it usually means they're going to calm down. Sometimes for a few seconds, and sometimes they calm down. So he calmed down for about maybe 20 seconds, and then he ramped back up again. No, we're not walking like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do with him is get him back on a short leash, which will make my camera work a little weird, but put him on a short leash. I'm going to move his hey. Straighten up, will you? I'm going to move his collar up right behind his ears because that gives me the most control. The higher up on his neck that collar is. And he's got the martingale collar on it. The whole thing gets tight when he pulls. Otherwise, it's loose and comfortable. So his clue that he's being raw or being bad, if that's the right word to use, is the collar gets tight. So I'm going to remind him we're doing leash leadership. That's it. The same thing we've been doing at my house every day in the yard. Repetition. Walk beside me on a loose leash. And when I stop walking, sit and look at me once in a while. Good job, buddy. So he's understand every time the leash is short, that's what we're doing. All right, bud. If he pulls me, I'm just going to stop and stand here and wait for him to do something to give me some slack in the leash. He'll back up or turn his head or do something. As soon as I get some slack in that leash, we'll walk off again. So he's going to learn that. There you go. Pulling makes us stop. So if you want to go that way so desperately, then you might need to not pull. And I understand he's a little bit excited right now or nervous. And some dogs just, the adrenaline's kicked in and they're pulling a little bit more than they even realize they are. So I'm letting him get away with a little bit of pulling for a little bit. But when it starts ramping up to where he's really, really pulling hard, I'm going to stop him. I'm just going to stand here and wait for some slack in the leash. Ready? Hold on. And oftentimes you'll take one or two steps and they're pulling again. They don't get the pattern. Stopping again. The collar sliding down his neck, which it tends to do with a lot of dogs. Their neck's about the same width most of the way down. And it's not unusual for dogs to want to sniff a lot when they're nervous. There you go. Good. Backed up. So we walk off, he's pulling again. So if this minor correction of stopping and standing. Oh, look at him. Listen. Stopping. Okay, I'm going to have to give him a harder correction because he's really just blowing me off at this point. So I'm going to, okay, you're going to straighten up. I'll say a mild correction is this correction where I just stop and wait for him to give me some slack. If that's not working, the next level of correction has got to come into play, which is a moderate correction. And that's where I'm going to turn and walk the other way, quick as I can, so he gets a little jolt with the collar when I turn around. And what he's going to find out is he actually is further away from where he's wanting to go, so that the pulling is just not working in his favor. It's not getting him where he wants to go. I'll let a dog sniff a little bit when the first time we come somewhere like this, but they're rudely sniffing like he's doing. He's throwing his head down and just pulling me like a bear. I'm not accepting that. So I'm going to have to put my phone down and to give him a moderate correction, because I have to have both hands to do that. And we got some people coming in the distance, so that ought to be interesting by the time they get here. I don't know if you can see him or not. One guy's got a white shirt on. That's kind of blurry. But anyway, I'd like to have him a little bit more under control before these people get up here. Good job, buddy. Again, the right answer to everything is sit and look at me if you don't know what to do. And I like he just thought about that and did it. All right, well, the people just walked past us. They're already gone good ways already. We stepped off and kind of got up on the hill a little bit. I had Jet sit and look at me with his back to the people. He tried to turn his head around. I mean, he did turn his head around a few times to look at him, but as soon as he started going to a stare, I would get his attention back and make him look back at me and just give him treats while the people were walking by. And I didn't video it because I wasn't sure how bad he might be, so I needed to have all my concentration on him. But he was really good. He stood up one time. I told him to sit back down, and he really didn't do anything other than just kind of wanted to stare at him a couple of times. And that was a good first opportunity to see how he is around people. But I could see there was a little intensities in him as they got close, but he was able to follow the instructions and not do anything too crazy. So he actually started walking off a bit better when we started going again. And he's got moments where he's trying to pull and sniff, but we're still getting started. We really haven't been here that long, so usually as the walk progresses, the dog calms down and gets better and better. So we'll check in a few minutes. All right, he's been walking pretty good here, so I'm letting him have a little break. He has peed, gets to sniff around a little bit. As long as he's not being impolite, which means pulling me. Like I say, I'll let him pull a little bit today, but there's a point that I'm going to correct him and he'll lose his privilege of the long leash. Dogs really like to have this long leash time to sniff around and use the bathroom and that sort of thing. And so this is one of the quickest things that they do figure out, is if I'm not polite, I'll lose my privilege. He's right on the border of where I'm going to stop him and pulling me. And I give him about a 2-minute break when I give breaks, if they're not acting up. I don't have to shorten it. Oh, that's not okay. Nope, you don't drag me to the tree. Come here. You blew it. Yeah, you just blew it. I'm going to walk my shoulders now. My goal is I want to walk a dog using 2 fingers. I can barely hold him with 2 fingers. Right now he's about to pull out of my hand. But that's how I come. I guess my gold standard is I can walk you entirely with just holding the leash with 2 fingers and you won't pull out of my hand. But like I say, I can't do that yet. But I don't think it'll be long. Excuse me. And the fact he's not even looking at me, that lets me know, he's blowing me off. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I really don't care what you want. And he's having me understand that, no, we're going to do what I want to do. And you'll get more privileges if you behave better. So I may have to have 2 hands. I have to go to another level of correction here in a second because he's just pulling too much. But that's what dog training is really about, is patterns and repetition and figuring out what the consequences are. Every single time you do a certain thing, there'll be a consequence that you are going to not like, that will make you think twice about doing it. So right now this pulling is a little ridiculous. Come here. So I'm going to put the phone down so I can actually do my corrections like I need to, and the timing I need to do them with. So we'll check in again in a minute. we're about halfway around the park. This is about one time around's a half mile, so we're, I guess, a quarter mile around maybe. Just had a real nice little spell. He was walking really nicely. He's pulling a little bit more now that I started the video, but he had a real playful moment. Some leaves blew by and he got real puppyish and wanted to chase the leaves. Had a little loving time. I was petting on him and stuff. And he started off walking really good. And there's a stop every once in a while to remind him that we're still doing leash leadership. And he's a little farther ahead of me than I really should let him be. He could be out of sync with me. Jet, sit. He's supposed to sit when I stop without me telling him to, but when we get out of sync, I'm not even in this peripheral vision anymore. Unless they forget. So I have to shorten the leash up. I don't hardly have any leash, you can see. I mean, I'm almost holding it down to the clip because he's so tall for me. All right, we've been walking along really nicely. He's doing great. My daughter actually called me on the phone, and I was able to talk to her while I was walking him, and he didn't do anything I had to worry about. But I now see there is a dog over here that just got here to the park. So, he hadn't seen the dog yet. But for dogs, other dogs are really the biggest distraction. So if we get a chance to kind of get closer to where he sees that dog. Excuse me, you're pulling me, stop. If everybody's pulling me, you might be able to smell the dog as the wind's blowing from that direction. I'll see how it's going to be. Make sure to remind him what we're doing again because he's starting to pull me a little bit. Dip. Thank you. Don't forget me. I'm giving Jet a little free time because he's been walking nicely. We're kind of going through a little wet, grassy area. I'm trying to get her to the volleyball court. I like for dogs to walk on sand. A lot of them have never walked on it before. And it can make them playful sometimes. They want to play in it. And I typically would walk them over there on the playground as well. But all the people have left, and the little dog that's here is on the playground. So I'm going to get Jet back on a short leash because he's going to see that dog in a second. And I need to make sure I've got him under control. Here we go. And again, even for me, I'm going to put his collar up right behind his ears. Make sure I've got the best control. Okay. And I'm pretty sure he sees the dog now. It's over there. It's probably about, I'm holding my phone with one hand. It's probably about maybe that far away from us. Okay, so I like the fact he's not losing his mind. Because some dogs, even from this distance, will lose their mind. Oh, I can't adjust my phone. There we go. Okay, good job, bud. Now, since they left the playground, I might go ahead and walk over there now. So let's just, and it's like the way he's looking now, I'm not that concerned because his ears are still back. When I get concerned is when they're staring and their ears go forward and they just lock in like a couple of laser beam lockdown stare. I'm going to bump him a couple times with my leg just to snap him out of it. He wasn't doing it, but he's just starting to pull and more intense, so I know he's getting more intense. When they have that laser beam lockdown stare, when the ears are actually forward, I know that the dog's getting in a harder state of mind. So hey, we're going to the playground, baby. On the playground, we'll just walk around some of the equipment. I'm not going to try to let him poop in here if I can help it. I just want him to, I want to see a dog that's kind of interested in sniffing things, but it's not overly sniffing things. No, and not getting on picnic tables. No, that's not okay. Get down here. Nobody said a thing about you getting on a picnic table. But I just want to see, children have been sliding on the slides and stuff, so there should be most dogs like to smell the end of the slides. Come on, honey. Of course, he's still aware of that dog over there. He's checking him out. He's just over there on the baseball field. Good job. I like his tail's up. It's about halfway. That's a dog in a good mindset. He's not having any real big issues as far as fear or dominance. Oh. That nose, though, he's smelling all kinds of stuff in here. Okay, listen, buddy, you're not just going to drag me around like that. He is so strong. Sometimes when I'm trying to rein him in. Oh. Yeah, the dog got away from the owner, so I'm going to pray he doesn't run into here with us, because I don't know how that will go. In fact, I'm going to put the phone down in case he does. All right, thankfully the guy got his dog back. He didn't run here with us. Usually I shut the gate, but of course the one day in my lifetime I did not shut the gate. That kind of thing happens. It made me a little nervous, but everything's fine. He's back loose in the ball field. He can just certainly run away again. So I don't guess the lesson wasn't learned. Okay, anyway, and as far as Jet and that dog went, when he came back by and they were fairly close to us, he got very alert, like he's doing right now. And he's really aware of that dog, and the dog's running too. And that increased energy. I don't know why I can't feel like I'm sitting on the video, but he's in there somewhere running around. That increased energy, will get a lot of dogs' attention, which it got Jet's. And but he just basically did this number, stared, and I made him stop. I got in front of him and blocked his view and made him sit and look at me and take treats. Now, a lot of dogs are afraid of this little chipmunk thing. And, and he's just more concerned about the dog right now. And then one more thing I'm going to do real quick, because the little boy just ran away from his dad now too, so he might come in here, is I walk him by the swings. I'm just taking them by different things to see, are they nervous, are they engaging, are they shut down, and if something scary happens, do they recover from it quickly, or are they just really tore up by it? So one thing I usually do is push a swing. Some dogs, a moving swing is just terrifying, but Jet's obviously no big deal. And of course he sees the dog again coming, so we'll wait here while they go by, because the little boy just kind of left his dad and the dog on the baseball field. So maybe I can show you how I dealt with this. So see, Jet's picking up, his energy's picking up again. He's staring, he sees the dog coming. So I'm going to have him sit. I'm going to block his view. Hey, Jet, sit. Good boy. Sit. Now with dogs, you have to have more energy than they do, or they think they're stronger and they're better. So when he doesn't listen, I've got to really be able to push him around, or with my legs, or with the leash. Jet, come here. Sit. Jet. There you go. Good. And I don't give up before he does. That's the main way dogs think that they win, is the human gives up too fast. And I'm off my game a little bit because I'm trying to video while I'm doing this. I normally have quicker reflexes, but he's not being that bad. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. And so they just walked past us just outside of the fence here. Like I said, everything's probably twice as close as it looks like it is in the video. But he's not made a sound. He's not really pulled me hard. He just was looking hard. The earlier you can step in and fix something before it gets totally out of control and off the wheels, the easier it's going to be to fix. So all I really had to bump him once or twice, and get his attention back to me. And of course he's getting rewarded for the right behavior. It's not just about correction, it's about when he's doing the right thing, making sure he understands the difference. So when I do this, good things happen. When I do that, she's on my case, and I don't like it. So I want him to know, clearly not staring at that dog is the right thing to do. Looking at me is the best thing to do, because that's when you're going to get treats. All right, so we're done. All that excitement's over. We're going to head back out, and we're pretty much done for our outing for the day. You'll be a good boy. I know, you're going to be so smart, though. Okay, I love what Jess just did. These people were coming back to us again. I can't exactly tell how close the sun's in my eyes, if I have them the right length or not, but he's been soft. He turned around, he sat down and looked at me, which I needed to give him a treat for that. The truck's coming, I need to get out of the way a little bit. Come here, Jet. Jet. I want to give you a treat for your good behavior. Yes, I do, because you're being so good. So good. Yes, you are. Good job. There's a truck going by here. Hey! Oh, I know that person. They have a black lab, too. All right, Jet. Good job, bud. Here, sit down. Good. Good boy. We're back at the truck. We're going to hop in and